Hello, everyone. It's John Solomon from Just the News, No Noise. Today, I want to shine a light on AMAC, an organization that is dedicated to America's seniors, but also vital for conservatives of all ages. AMAC stands out because they advocate for senior issues, but they also push for conservative common sense values. That affects all of us. By joining AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, you're not just supporting our senior citizens, you're part of a movement defending our freedoms and securing our nation's future. Moreover, an AMAC membership brings you exclusive benefits like discounts on travel, dining, and entertainment, special insurance rates. Regardless of your age, if you're driven to preserve freedom, AMAC will welcome you with open arms. I'm a 5-year member. You should be too. This is about uniting youthful vigor with the wisdom of experience in our quest for conservative principles. Now sign up today at amac.us/justnews. That's amac.us/justnews. For a limited time, you're going to get a free gift membership for someone who shares your love for our great nation. Now don't miss out on this chance to make a difference with AMAC. Join today, amac.us/justnews, and extend the invitation to a friend or family member for free.
Welcome back, America. The financial burden of illegal immigration continues to weigh on American taxpayers who are already suffering from the invisible cost of outsized inflation. This burden, along with the string of recent tragedies, should be addressed during Biden's State of the Union address tonight. But will he dare to say Laken Riley's name? And will he call for higher taxes to pay our current deficits? I don't know. I don't know if that's safe for him, but Brandon Arnold serves as the Executive Vice President of the National Taxpayers Union, and he joins us now for this conversation. Brandon, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All righty. So Biden's going to step up there to the podium tonight, and he's going to try to tell the American people that the State of the Union is strong with respect to the economy, with respect to the southern border, with respect to the safety of our cities. And I just don't know how he does that, because it's all just lies, Minnelli.
Yeah, I mean, this has been the gaslighting tour of the Biden administration over the past several years, pretty much since he gained office here. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. You can't teach a really old dog new tricks. And that's what we're dealing with this president here. He's going to keep telling us that the economy is doing great. Everybody knows that is not true. Poll after poll shows that people are very frustrated with this economy. And you don't need to take a poll. You just need to talk to real Americans who are out there at the grocery store or pumping their gas or doing anything, and they will tell you how frustrated they are with this economy. But again, we're going to get the same warmed over, lousy solutions from this president: higher taxes, piling on the rich, piling on corporations, with this somehow belief that it's going to turn this economy around. We know the blueprint. We know what happened during the Trump administration when we passed really good tax policy. And guess what? The economy did really well, from those that were at the bottom end of the economic ladder all the way up to wealthier Americans. Everybody prospered from those tax cuts.
Yeah. Well, and gaslighting is always subtly insulting. But their gaslighting sometimes is overtly insulting, because they'll say things like, and it's not just Janet Yellen, it's Joe Biden, it's other officials within the Biden administration, saying things like, well, the American people just don't realize it. They've just got to give it more time. And they blame it on, they blame corporations for shrinkflation and things like that. But you're right. The American people know what's happening. And I recently saw a statistic that there's been a 3% increase in job cuts. That was in February from the month before, and a 9% increase in job cuts from the same time last year. The American people, they're not just hurting because everything is more expensive and products provided are getting smaller. The jobs that the Biden administration tried to say they added to the economy, which were just replaced from COVID, are actually falling off now. It's a brand new type of correction for the Biden administration.
Yeah, I think that's a huge concern when you talk about the big picture of the economy right now, the job market. And the job market was strong, or has been strong, through most of the president's administration, largely because of the phenomenon you just described. Jobs disappeared during the pandemic, and then they just came back. They were the same jobs that existed back in 2019 before COVID. But now we are facing an inflection point where I'm very concerned about the state of the American economy. Inflation hasn't gone away like we thought it would, and we're seeing rising interest rates really start to take a toll on Americans. That's why you're seeing credit card debt and home and auto loan debt really starting to pile up. We're over $1 trillion in collective credit card debt right now. And with interest rates at record highs with regard to recent history, then you're starting to see it become more and more difficult to pay off those credit card bills. This can have cascading impacts through the economy, affecting the broader job market, affecting the health of our economy in a big picture sense. That is a huge concern right now. And this administration, this president just keeps saying things are great when everybody knows that's not true.
It is a gaslighting tour indeed. And I don't know if there's necessarily even a soft landing. And I know something you've been talking about, a 28% corporate tax rate, which is what the Biden administration would love to have. I think they would honestly like it to be even higher. That would kill 160,000 jobs and reduce wages by 0.7%. So what we've seen so far as it being bad, could get even worse with that.
Yeah, people like to beat up on corporations. People on the left for certain, and some people on the right as well don't like big corporations.
Yeah.
I get it, but guess what happens when you raise taxes on corporations? Those get passed down to Americans, and millions of Americans work for large corporations. The way they get passed down to Americans is either through lower wages, which is bad, or through higher prices, which is always bad, but particularly bad at a time when we're trying to reduce inflation. So you get this double whammy effect where people have less money, and all of a sudden prices are even higher, all because of corporate taxes. And keep in mind, when Trump lowered taxes from the top corporate rate of 35% down to 21%, we saw a huge boost in employment, jobs for people all across the economy, and we saw a tremendous amount of economic growth. It, provided such a boost to our economy. People were getting bonuses. People were doing great. Things have changed dramatically now. So to undo this economic progress that was made under the previous administration would be an enormous mistake.
Well, and to be fair, it's not just large businesses and big corporations, the big bad corporations, who are affected by this. I used to work at a mom and pop Italian restaurant in Hollywood. I was a singing server, and this restaurant was started in 1949 by a 2-time Purple Heart recipient. A mom and pop business, small business. They had 2 locations, and I worked there during the Obama administration. I was constantly having to explain to customers why prices were rising. It's not just the big bad corporations. It's mom and pop on Main Street too.
Oh, no doubt about it. And the tax relief was designed in a way to provide benefits to small businesses, not just big businesses. So there was tax relief all across the board. And another thing that took place was a lot of deregulation of the healthcare industry, which was incredibly important. So those mom and pop companies could actually start to offer their employees health insurance, something that was a luxury only for folks that worked at big companies before. Now you're seeing more and more small businesses that were able to do that. That's being undone systematically by this administration. They're scaling away association health plans, other opportunities that small businesses have to band together to offer better benefits to their employees. It's really hard hit both for the small businesses that are trying to compete with the big businesses, as well as for those employees that are trying to struggle and get by and keep their heads above water.
Yeah. And honestly, if they're looking for help from Capitol Hill, Republicans aren't really doing much to make things that much better for them either. You got Democrats, and then you got Republicans that are just doing what Democrats do at a little bit slower pace. But anyway, I'm not one of them, so I guess I can be an armchair quarterback any day I want. Brandon, there is nobody better to have on the show to discuss all of these issues with respect to the deficit, with the debt, the budget, everything that's happening. We appreciate you being here. All right, I'm off to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Eric Pratt, who serves as the VP of Gun Owners of America. Lots to talk about with him. We'll do that in just a moment.